China's national avatar strategy reshapes society while the West hesitates. From January to June 2025, China has demonstrated an ambitious and multifaceted strategy to integrate AI-powered digital humans across its social, economic, and governmental infrastructures. This initiative is not merely technological, it is deeply tied to national priorities in governance, cultural preservation, industrial modernization, and soft power projection. The scale, speed, and institutional alignment of China's efforts contrast sharply with the more fragmented, market-driven, and ethically cautious approach seen in the West. While both regions are advancing in the development of avatars and virtual beings, their motivations, implementations, and regulatory responses differ substantially. China has aggressively embedded digital humans into public service delivery. Local governments are now using AI avatars to provide legal assistance, administrative support, and 24/7 citizen engagement through platforms like WeChat. Cities such as Qianan and Guangzhou have implemented avatar systems for civic consultation and legal education, enabling cost-effective and scalable services for millions. Digital humans are also playing central roles in patriotic education and community governance, with AI narrators guiding visitors in anti-corruption museums and read history exhibits. In contrast, the West has seen only sporadic adoption of digital humans in public services. While some European countries have piloted avatar interpreters or AI assistants in accessibility programs, the integration into everyday government processes remains minimal. The lack of centralized strategy, coupled with slower regulatory approval and a cautious public stance on AI use in governance, has kept digital humans largely out of Western civic infrastructure. China is actively using digital humans to transform education at all levels. In cities like Wuhan and Zhejiang, avatars function as classroom assistants, museum guides, and emotional companions. These AI entities are designed not just to deliver knowledge but to increase student engagement, support emotional well-being, and introduce technological fluency from an early age. AI-powered cultural exhibits, holographic storytelling, and adaptive learning avatars are now standard features in several provincial education programs, pointing to a systemic approach to AI education integration. In the West, education-based avatar applications remain fragmented and narrowly scoped. Institutions such as Cedars-Sinai or Southern Illinois University have introduced AI avatars for specific medical or special education use cases, often as part of academic research. While these programs demonstrate technological potential, they have not achieved national rollout or widespread adoption. Concerns over privacy, data security, and child safety have further slowed experimentation in public school systems. Healthcare represents one of the most dynamic arenas for digital human deployment in China. The country has launched AI doctors modeled on top specialists, such as Fudan University's digital avatar for cardiovascular diagnostics. In provinces like Shandong, virtual physicians are already live, offering basic medical consultations and health education through cloud platforms. These avatars are designed to address the nation's vast population and uneven access to healthcare resources, especially in rural regions. Simultaneously, AI companions are being introduced to assist with eldercare, a critical challenge in China's aging society. In the West, digital humans are making inroads into healthcare but in a more controlled and research-driven manner. AI avatars are being used for therapy simulation, patient education, and in some cases, mental health support. However, regulatory restrictions, medical liability concerns, and ethical scrutiny limit their scope and speed of deployment. Western institutions prioritize pilot projects and user studies, often requiring extensive vetting before any clinical integration, reflecting a more cautious trajectory. One of the most distinctive features of China's approach is its fusion of digital humans with cultural and ideological storytelling. AI avatars have been developed to resurrect historical figures, such as opera master Chang Xiangyu and poet Xin Qiji. These digital reincarnations are featured in national festivals, holographic performances, and immersive museum experiences, offering young audiences a blend of heritage and interactivity. By placing culture at the heart of its avatar strategy, China is not only digitizing tradition, but also using it to reinforce national identity and project cultural continuity in a high-tech format. The West, while vibrant in creative use of avatars, focuses more on entertainment than heritage. Virtual musicians, fashion influencers, and celebrity holograms dominate the space, often prioritizing marketability over historical depth. While there are artistic experiments in cultural reinterpretation, they are not embedded in state initiatives or linked to broader national branding. The Western model leans on novelty and consumer engagement, whereas China ties avatar development closely to state narratives and soft power diplomacy. China's industrial strategy includes empowering small and medium-sized enterprises with accessible avatar tools. Platforms like Huawei Cloud's Flexus and Baidu's Huaboxing provide turnkey solutions for scriptwriting, voice cloning, and multilingual video production. These tools are designed for non-technical users and have been deployed across live streaming hubs, local e-commerce zones, and rural revitalization programs. This approach lowers the barrier for businesses to adopt AI marketing, training, and communication technologies, creating a digitally fluent SME sector. Western platforms, including Epic's MetaHuman, NVIDIA ACE, and Synthesia, offer technically advanced avatar systems. However, they cater primarily to developers, mid-size businesses, or creative professionals with the skills to implement them. There are few integrated solutions for micro-businesses or rural operators. Moreover, access is often restricted by subscription costs or technical barriers. The West's innovation pipeline is strong, but democratization of avatar technology remains a work in progress compared to China's scaled-down, mass-adoptable solutions. China is laying a legal foundation for long-term control over avatar technologies. The state has launched the country's first digital human IP registration system to formalize avatar likeness rights and facilitate commercial licensing. Numerous patents have been filed for AI lip sync, cross-platform behavior syncing, and emotional modeling, signaling a proactive push to control key standards. These frameworks support domestic firms in securing competitive advantages while creating an orderly market for avatar development and export. The West faces a more reactive legal climate. IP violations, unauthorized deepfakes, and misuse of likenesses have prompted lawsuits and backlash, most notably from companies like Disney and ethical watchdogs. Rather than setting global standards, Western institutions are still debating them. There is no unified registry or protocol for avatar data ownership, leading to inconsistent enforcement and frequent disputes between platforms, creators, and rights holders. While China has acknowledged ethical challenges in AI avatar deployment, such as bias in healthcare or emotional manipulation, these concerns are secondary to scaling and utility. Regulatory responses remain limited, with little public resistance to the widespread use of AI companions, government avatars, or emotional tutors. The state maintains tight control over deployment narratives, ensuring digital humans align with acceptable political and social values. The West, by contrast, is entrenched in a deep ethical debate. Academics, journalists, and advocacy groups routinely raise concerns about AI's emotional impact, especially on children and vulnerable populations. Controversies around therapy bots, sexualized avatars, and misinformation have sparked calls for stronger regulation, transparency, and consent frameworks. While this slows down adoption, it ensures that digital humans evolve within a system of democratic accountability, user rights, and public scrutiny. China is moving toward a full-scale national avatar ecosystem, spanning governance, education, health, culture, and commerce, underpinned by central planning, proprietary infrastructure, and a vision of AI as both a productivity tool and ideological instrument. The West, meanwhile, continues to lead in creative expression, technical innovation, and ethical reflection, but lacks the cohesive strategy or state support to match China's speed and societal penetration. This divergence reflects deeper differences in political models, public trust, and economic structures. As both regions continue to refine their approaches, the future of virtual beings may become a key indicator of how AI will shape not just industries, but entire civilizational models.